Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We're going to go ahead and get started. We've got full agenda for the evening, and this is our last monthly meeting of the year since we are on hiatus for December with everything going on with everyone. And we're just excited to wrap tonight's. Without further ado, if you've never joined us on one of our Zoom meetings before, we just ask that everyone stay muted unless you're presenting or asking a question. That'll just help prevent feedback during the meeting. If you happen to forget to unmute yourself, I may mute you just to make sure that we don't have that feedback. Otherwise, we'll make sure everyone has an opportunity to ask questions and speak throughout the meeting. So always feel free to use the hand raise feature in Zoom. And if you're not able to do that, you can just raise your hand on camera or even unmute yourself and jump in if needed. Without further ado, I'll turn the floor over to our treasurer, Eric. Who is ending his term. And so this will be his last treasurer's report after many years of service. So, Eric, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Jesse. Don't make me cry. Six plus years plus committee service, so definitely a little bittersweet. So, all right, here we go, folks. Let me get my screen shared. All right. Here we'll start off on the balance sheet. So you can see here that we have just a little bit shy of $12,000 in checking, a little over $12,000 in savings, and petty cash remains unchanged. The only other changes below in the funds is to the general fund with the income and expenses that we'll go through in just a second. Any other questions on the balance sheet? All right, we will move over to the income statement. So you can see for the month, we did have a few household and individual residential memberships come through. We did receive a Kroger rewards donation, some yard sale income from the MAP registration fees. And then for those familiar, we were selling flags, Merion Village flags, whatever, through our merchandise. And so that brought our total income for the month to $369.78. Our expenses were fairly typical for the month with rent and utilities coming in as usual. We had some supplies and a technology annual subscription service that we have, as well as then we had to pay for the flags that we received. So there you can see for the month we had $1,132.49 in expenses, which brings us just short, shy $762 loss for the month, but we're $3,600 plus in net income for the year. Any questions on the income statement? All right, so there you go, Jess.
Thank you so much, Eric. And thank you for, as you said, not even just your 6 years as treasurer, but Eric has been volunteering on committees long before he was a member of the board. So Eric is amazing, and we are sad that he will no longer be treasurer, but also appreciate all of his work for so many years. So thank you very
Assuming
much.
everything goes well with the voting, I feel like we'll be in very good hands with Dan, who is actually a real CPA, not a fake one like me. So
Thank you so much, Eric. Okay, folks, we have a guest speaker joining us this evening, Clerk of Courts Mary Ellen O'Shaughnessy. I'm going to turn the floor over. We'd love to have you share information with us, and then at the end, we'll open the floor so folks who might have questions can jump in and ask questions of you as well.
Super. That's great. Thanks so much, Jess. And thanks to Eric for your years of service. 6 years, that's a long time. I very much appreciate that. And I'm here, and so many of you are here too, because you understand the power of gathering together as a community and how much you can make a change, make a difference. And I'm here because I know you are opinion leaders in your neighborhood, and just wanted to spend a little time talking about what I do and what I don't do as your Franklin County Clerk of Courts. Now, Tate knows a little bit about this because he works for Lori Tyak, who is the Muni clerk. And I guess we could start right there. We get a lot of calls. We get a lot of calls. And a lot of those calls are for things that we don't handle. as the Franklin County Clerk of Courts. And Tate knows this because he helps with the municipal clerk, and municipal clerk handles misdemeanor offenses and traffic and things like that. So people will call me and say, "Hey, I just got a speeding ticket. What do I do?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know what to do." What we do is generally get them in touch with the Muni Clerk of Courts. Now, just to make this just a little more confusing, you know that we have home rule in Ohio. And today I was just down talking extensively to the Hamilton County Clerk of Courts. And in his position, he handles both common pleas, which is what I do, and municipal clerk. So he's quite busy. He actually has, between the two, about as many employees as I do. And Tate, tell me how many you have in Muni now. Just about 150, isn't it?
A little more now, 180.
180, good for you. We have 200 employees. They are my deputy clerks in 9 different locations. So yes, I am Mary Ellen O'Shaughnessy. I am Franklin County Clerk of Courts. I'm the 41st Clerk of Courts in Franklin County, Ohio. The first was in 1803. I am the first elected woman to the position. And I've been here doing this job since I was elected in 2008, and I took my position in January 2009. And I'm up for election every 4 years. And graciously, thanks to you, voters, that you have returned me to the office. And we do our best to make sure that you've got what you need when it comes to what we do. Caitlin Grassel, as Kate is on here too, and you can see her. She does what you do, Tate. She tries to do community fairs and public relations in many ways. So we have a lot of work to do there because there's a lot of misinformation, and it's up to us to make sure that people like you have the correct information to disseminate when people ask. So you will be the holders of this information. We are going to, Jess told me she's going to drop my annual report. We do. Kate, did you have something to say? You got to unmute yourself.
I put it in the chat.
You did put
that
it
was
in
me that did, yeah.
Excellent.
So it's in the chat.
So take a look at that. We use that as an educational opportunity. It's got lots of information in there, including one page that talks about the 2 clerks in Franklin County and what each one does. So that will be helpful to you. Now, what does the office do? We manage the court records for the Common Pleas Court and the 10th District Court of Appeals. The court is the General Division, which is civil and criminal. It is also domestic and juvenile traffic. That is we manage those court documents. Now, a lot of people say, "Hey, don't you work for the judges?" And I said, no. You have to understand, I'm independently elected. I work for you. And there's a reason for that. It's the checks and balances. It's making sure that there's not even the appearance of judicial bias when it comes to managing the money, all that money that comes in and out. We collect and disseminate all that money. And we make sure that there's not even the appearance of judicial bias when it comes to setting the docket, who has what case, and managing the court records. So we again work with, not for, the 32 judges that we work with. And there's only one of me, but I do have 200 employees in 9 different locations throughout the county. Another thing that we do is auto titles. I have 4 different locations throughout Franklin County. And I get a lot of calls. People say, "Hey, I need help. I need my driver's license, or I need my car registration." And I don't do that. I'm not the BMV. I'm not the BMV. Just remember, I'm not the BMV. Now, what I do is auto titles. Why do I do auto titles? Well, it is legal proof that you own your vehicle. That's what I do. And again, 4 locations. It's really important, actually, that you title your car in Franklin County. Why is that? Well, we have cross-county titling. You can go wherever you want, but we are, as you know, the largest county in the state, and we have a lot of human service needs. And the Franklin County Commissioners and your Franklin County governance is the main provider of human services when it comes to so many things. And they have a big budget, but we have a great amount of need in Franklin County. So $13.50 of every $15 that you do for your auto title comes back to me. Number one, it helps me make sure that we're providing excellent services. But number two, if we get an overage in my auto title fund, I'm able to give money back to the county commissioners to help them provide the essential needs that. And we are up to $10.1 million that we've been able to give back to the Franklin County Commissioners to help them balance their budget as they continue to provide these human service needs for these human service needs in Franklin County. So it's, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So title your car in Franklin County. And if you have access to any kind of fleet, title the fleet in Franklin County. We've been going around and around to different places, to the different villages and towns in Franklin County to make sure that their fleets are titled in Franklin County, and they get it. They just assume that it's these cars and vehicles are titled in Franklin County. Oftentimes they're not. Even the city of Columbus, where I was city council member for 11 years, even they thought that everything was titled in Franklin County. We found it. We have all the numbers. We have all the data. They had 17% had been titled in Franklin County. That has changed because we asked and we told them how important it is. So yeah, title your car in Franklin County. What else do I have for you? One of the things that we've really focused on during my tenure as Franklin County Clerk is application of new technologies. This is really important because in this day and age, here we are on Zoom, that you can use technology to access documents that are important to you. So we have case information online, which we started in my first couple months of being clerk. And case information online is probably the lead between that and e-filing. We get about 5 to 6 million hits a year on our website. So case information online, if you haven't checked it out, a lot of people have. And one of the things you can do is a quick background check on someone. You can plug in a name and get an idea as to whether this person is on the up and up. So a lot of people do use it for that and other things. So check it out, case information online. That's at clerk.franklincountyohio.gov. We started e-filing in my first 4 years as clerk, and that was quite a heavy lift. But I can tell you that when I first ran for office, I'd talk to a lot of attorney groups, and they would always, when it came to questions, they'd say, "Hey, excuse me, can you stay open for 15 minutes longer, please?" Because they were working on a case and they wanted to get it in, and they were under deadline pressure. So now, because of e-filing, they can be sitting in their jammies at home at 5 minutes to midnight and press a button on that computer, and there they have filed. So let's just say that the legal community loves me at this point. So it's good stuff. And when I first started, we had 2 people in IT. We now have 13, and I keep asking my director of IT whether he needs to add more, because we are always looking for ways to make it easier and faster for you to get access to court documents. So that's kind of where that is. So I told you why to title in Franklin County. What I didn't tell you is that there's a huge amount of interest in passports, and we are we've quadrupled our amount of passport business that we're doing. It's been pretty amazing, and that reminds me, Kate, we'll talk tomorrow at some point about what we learned about what Hamilton County is doing. So we'll share that information, but you can get a passport at my office at the corner of Mound and High on the first floor in the general division. You don't need to have you don't need to go ahead and call early to make sure that you're on the schedule, unless you've got 4 people or more that want to come in together like a family. So no waiting. You just come on in and get it. And once you get my my annual report, there is a coupon for a free passport photo. for you. So use it and go get your passport. A lot of people are doing that because a lot of people are traveling post-COVID, and that's a good thing. And it's also very good identification. You can use it for voting now. In the beginning, they didn't allow it, but now they're allowing it. So that's a good thing. So what else, Kate? What have I missed?
I think you covered it all.
Good, good.
Christian just said that they got her son or his son's passport. Is it a few months ago in her office, and it was easy peasy. So
Good. There you
yay,
go.
good to
There you
hear.
go. Yes, yes. So do it. It's a good thing to have, and we try to be as expeditious as possible. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 2 for passports. Why is that? Because between 2 and 5 o'clock, we're stuffing those passports, the passport information into envelopes and getting it off post haste to the feds because we don't want to be part of the problem. We want to be part of the solutions for sure. So yeah.
We had a quick
Go
question
ahead,
in
get
the
your passport.
chat.
Come on down.
We had a quick question in the chat. Zach, is there
Yeah.
an advantage to utilizing your office as opposed to any other application route? Do you mean regarding passports? I can start with that. We've actually seen a lot of increased fraud.
Go ahead, Kate.
Okay, can you hear me okay? We've actually seen a lot of people being scammed recently, especially in the past year with passports and taking, collecting money online to accounts that look very similar to the actual account. And it's just the security of handing your information, sensitive information, over to a certified passport specialist that's a deputy clerk. It's just really nice and reassuring knowing that you have all of that. So I think as far as the scam route, absolutely. I'm sure clerk has some more to add to that, but.
Well, you can go to the post office. You need to get an appointment, and the post office does a fine job. They are trained by the same people that train our folks. So, but don't be afraid of coming down to us. I think that we work very hard to make sure it's expeditious. That's one thing, and you can walk in anytime between 8 and 2. So that makes it easy for folks. And again, I know Kate's on this scam thing, and I'm hearing more and more about that stuff, and that's pretty scary stuff. So make sure you're going to somebody official, like one of my deputy clerks who's been trained by the feds to do this appropriately. And hey, you get a free photo.
Yeah, we take great photos too, which those are hard to come by on those passports.
Oh yeah, that can be an issue actually. Make sure that it is to the certain specifications that they've got that the feds have, and we've had issues with blue screens and things like that they don't want, and they will turn it back. So yeah, we've worked really hard to make sure that we hit all the right buttons when it comes to the feds and passports.
Yeah, we have had quite a few returning customers that came from somewhere else just to get a photo that does get passed, because if they send it through and it gets rejected,
yeah,
you have to start all over, which is
all over again. Yeah,
not good. So
that's good, especially if you're under the gun and you've already made your plane ticket. You've already bought your plane ticket. So yeah, it's kind of bad.
That's never good.
Yes. So anybody else have any questions? What do we have here? Anything else? Let's see. No.
Yeah, feel free to raise your hands, folks, or unmute yourself. Kate, I think you just unmuted.
I did. Yeah, I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you guys for coming tonight, and also I want to reassure people that you guys do a fantastic job over there. As someone who works with the office quite closely, you guys do an amazing job over there, and thanks for all the work that you guys do.
Well, thanks for what you're doing for Lori too. It's we've got heavy lifting being the largest county in Franklin, but the municipal clerk handles those misdemeanor offenses, and that is really the portal for many. Oftentimes, big offenses will come through the municipal and are bound over to us. So we work well together and take care of our sort of different stuff, but making sure that people are in the right place at the right time, because people don't think about it until they need us. Isn't that right? Yeah. All right. So thanks so much for everything.
I don't see any other hands raised, so I'm going to take my opportunity to just thank you personally. I was actually working as a legal assistant, paralegal, back when you launched the e-filing, and I will tell you that we worked in all 88 counties, and it was very nice to be in the county that had a very good e-filing system because it made our lives a lot easier. So
We are in the midst. You wouldn't know this because the Columbus Dispatch doesn't have anybody covering us at this point, but we are in the midst of a multi-year, multi-million-dollar project, which is replacing an outdated case management system. So all
oh
that is
wow.
built on COBOL. Remember COBOL?
Hmm?
Okay. Yeah. That's all built on COBOL. So we're trying to pull that out and replace it with something that is more modern.
Oh
And
my gosh.
yeah, and it's quite the project. Um, it won't be done for a while, but it should not affect e-filing. E-filing should remain basically the same. If there is any distinct change, Kate and I and others will be out in the legal community, making sure that people are properly educated about any changes that would happen. But no, we are dedicated to making sure that this whole thing is working and that we're ready for the future. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, thank you
So
for your work because it was very wonderful to participate in that. And the docket of course, is also very, very helpful. So
absolutely, yes. All right. Well, thanks so much.
yeah, thank you for being here.
We won't bother you anymore. We'll go ahead and get out of town. But again, thanks so much for everything that you do in your neighborhood. And I do love Merion Village. It's a wonderful place. And I remember when it wasn't so wonderful. So you've worked
Well,
very
thank
hard
you.
to make sure it's a desirable neighborhood, and I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. We are very proud of our entire community and we really appreciate your time tonight. This is wonderful. Thank you for being here after hours and spending quite a while with us.
Right. All right. Well, thanks so much. Onward.
Thank you.
Onward.
Have a wonderful evening.
You will.
Thank you so. All right, folks. Well, we are going to jump on to our next item here. I'm going to turn the floor over to Tate, who will introduce you to our speaker speaking about the variance application for a zoning item in the neighborhood. So, Tate, the floor is yours. And I'm sorry, folks, just in case this is the first time you've attended one of our zoning presentations, we will spend 5 minutes with the applicant presenting the variances that they are requesting. We will then spend the next 5 minutes asking folks to give us any questions that you might have, which we will document. They won't be answered at that point. And then the final 5 minutes will be the answering portion so that we can kind of put those all together and allow the applicant to answer them all at once. We will then pass those items on to the area commission. I'm going to put a voting link in chat here for any current members. And then if you have any comments that you'd just like to share, you can put those in chat as well. And we will pass those along to the area commission to share with the city when they vote on the application. So, hey, all yours.
Great, thanks, Jess. Appreciate it. We have one variance application tonight. I will say on the agenda, we did have another presentation, but they did cancel. They will move on to the January meeting and do a full presentation with voting in January. So just FYI, there's been a slight change. They were just going to present before they actually submit the variance application. But like I said, that you will move towards January with the full presentation and voting. So tonight, we'll go ahead and go with 308 to 310 East Deschler Avenue. I believe, Josh, are you presenting this evening?
Yes, I'm here to do. Yep, thank you.
Perfect. I will let you have the floor here, and then do you have a presentation to share? You feel free to share the screen.
Okay, I have Alex from my studio here as well. Alex, would you be able to share those documents that you have? Alex, can you hear me?
Sharing right now.
Oh, perfect.
And you're good.
All right. All right, perfect. Hello, everybody. So I am an architect with Side Street Studio. The clients are looking to build a carriage house in the rear of their duplex. So they currently live on the left side of the duplex. and they are happy to announce that one of their children has just had grandkids. So they're super excited to welcome grandkids in, and as part of the plan, they are going to build a carriage house so the grandparents themselves can move into the back, and then they're able to give up their unit to their kid. So they're able to be near their grandchild and take care of them, which is going to be fantastic. So the duplex, as it exists today, will remain completely untouched. And then the new carriage house in the back is going on what is today currently just some gravel that exists behind the property. I don't know if anyone went and kind of peeked and looked at what's going on over there. There is a really big, beautiful tree, and I just wanted to assure everybody, don't worry, we are keeping it. So we're not touching the big tree. We designed the carriage house to, fit around it really nicely. Currently, again, there's just gravel in the back there, but when this is done, there will be 3 parking spaces, one for each of the units. So that's the plan. The variances all have to deal with the fact that carriage houses are still not written into the Columbus zoning code. So, hoping to see that within the next 2 years. I think I've been hearing rumors that those are going to be added, but yeah, currently having a address not on the main principal street definitely triggers variances for you there. So you can see here the main house out in the front on the left side of your screen, and then the carriage house to the right side of the screen in the back. So we'll still have plenty of nice backyard space. They currently are used to sharing it with their tenants as is, and that will kind of remain so once the new carriage house is built. And then you have some elevations here, going with a really traditional style, painted siding, and it's going to be a hardy board and batten look. So hopefully it blends in nicely with the rest of the neighborhood.
Anything else you wanted to have up on the screen, Josh?
No, I think that's it.
Does that conclude your presentation? Do you have anything else to share?
Nope, I think that's it. It's pretty straightforward.
Sounds good. Then we'll move over now to the question part. And I will share my screen and show your variances, and I will type the questions as just mentioned. I will type the questions, and then we'll move on. After that 5-minute period is concluded, we'll move on to the answer portion. Feel free to either raise your hand. Sorry, go ahead, Jess.
No, sorry. It's just as Tate's pulling that up, folks. So you will be able to see all 8 variances listed here on the screen. If you do have any questions, again, feel free to use the hand raise feature, or if that's not available to you, please do feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions you have. You can also put them into chat, whatever is most comfortable.
And Josh, I know there are some changes to the variances. I believe this is the most up to date, but let me know if that's incorrect.
Yeah, no, that was it. We had that the lot width was 40 feet, and they came back and said it is actually 40.18 feet. So that was a big revision for us. But as everyone's kind of looking at the screen, they'll probably note that most of the variances on there are to bring the existing lot just into conformity. So if property was to be platted today from scratch, they would require things like a lot width to be 50 feet, because it exists as it is. The lot width is not 50 feet. Reducing the maximum side yard. Again, the house in the front exists, and so the side yard is determined by the existing duplex in the front of the property. That is the most narrow point, so we need a variance for that as well. So a lot of these things are basically related to the house that exists. Allowing the carriage house on an unnamed street, we kind of touched on that as well. The alleyway does have a name, Beale Alley, and so that's where the new address will be for this. But happy to answer any questions that the group has.
Thank you, Josh. There is one question in chat, Tate, if you just want to copy that over, and then we'll get to that when we have the answer portion. And then yes, we are very familiar, folks. If you have attended before, I'm sure you have seen. We typically see lots of existing conditions come through whenever something is done at a property, simply because the existing lots that most of us have are certainly not within the code as it is written currently.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very common. All right.
Right.
I'm not seeing any hands raised. Anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask before we move on to responses?
Would you like me to answer the question on the screen? Or
Yeah,
do
if you'd like to-
do you gather all the questions first? Is that how it works?
We do, but I'm not seeing any more come through. That could change, but it looks like that might be our only question. So if you'd like to go ahead and respond, we can certainly move forward.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, like I said, the existing owner does live on the left side of the duplex, and I know that the trees remaining was the concern that everyone was bringing up because again, the backyard tree is just so big and beautiful. But yep, we are keeping it as part of the plan, and we designed the what I'll say the upper deck area in order to preserve the tree. And so I have not heard any other concerns from the homeowners. So
Thank you for that. Folks, I did also put the link in chat if you are a current member and you are ready to cast your vote. Please feel free to do so at any time. You'll be voting again on all 8 items that are listed, so you can feel free to do that. Otherwise, I will just leave the floor open for the next few minutes as folks vote. If another question does come up, please feel free to share it. And otherwise, we will just give everyone a few moments to vote. All right, I can see the votes coming in. Is there anyone that needs some additional time to vote? Okay, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and review the votes here very quickly just to see if we have any variations or if all 8 are the same. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, folks, I am reporting then now we've gotten our votes in, and it looks like the vote on all 8 items are the same. So we have received a total of 6 votes in support of each variance with none opposed and no abstentions. So as far as our recommendation process is concerned, we recommend proceeding and passing all 8 variances as requested.
thank you so much. We'll see you at the Southside Area Commission meeting in a week or so.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here and for presenting, and we appreciate it. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you for preserving that tree.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thanks, you too. All right, folks. So that is where we are with our zoning items tonight. We do not have another presentation any longer. As Tate mentioned, we had one that was going to be informational only, but they will be coming back at a later date. So we will not have that this evening. So we are going to move into our 2023 board elections. So if you attended last month's meeting, you will know that we have 3 positions that are open for election this year. We had treasurer and secretary, both for 2-year terms, and member at large for a 1-year term. We have 1 candidate nominated for each role for the treasurer and for the member at large, but we did not receive any nominations for secretary. So I'm going to allow the candidates for both of those roles to just introduce themselves again and say hello before we actually get to voting. And then, of course, I will add the link for voting for these 2 candidates into chat so you can vote when you're ready. But Dan, if you'd just like to introduce yourself first, Dan is running for treasurer, and Zach then will introduce himself, and he is running for member at large. So, Dan, the floor is yours.
Yep. Sorry. Hi, everybody. Dan Lawrence here. I live on East Moeller, kind of near Lauren, right across near Kroger. I'm running for treasurer. Been in the community now since 2017. Yeah. I've been a accountant now since about 5 years. So I have some experience in that area. But yeah, very excited to hopefully win the election and start and take over from Eric, who's been doing a phenomenal job. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dan. And Zach, you're up.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zachary Barchek. I live over on Freebus. I have been volunteering with the Merion Village Association for a few years now, helping coordinate volunteers for the festival and volunteered in a few other ways. I'm really looking forward to sort of augmenting my volunteering in that way and really slotting in however I can be useful. One of the goals, obviously, is making sure that Merion Village Association can be a great resource for the community members and for folks. I know when my wife and I moved here, we were looking how to get involved and what resources were in the community. So really making sure that MVA can continue to play that role for folks. So really appreciate your support and would be very proud to give my time and effort to the association in that way. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Zach. All right, so those are your candidates. Again, you can vote for them now. I've got the link there in chat. And at this time, we did not have a nominee for secretary as of the last meeting. Based on the way our bylaws are written, individuals do need to be nominated at least, I believe, 3 weeks prior to our monthly meeting in order to be announced. So we have received a nomination for secretary. However, the nomination just came in the last few days. So that nomination will be announced at the January meeting, since we do not meet in December, along with any nominations that we happen to receive for that position prior to the January meeting. So if you are interested in that position, you are still able to nominate yourself for the same, as long as you do meet the criteria in our bylaws for being a member living in the Merion Village area, in the Merion Village neighborhood, and our current paid on dues as a member. So again, we will announce those candidates at the January meeting and then vote for them in February, which means we will officially have no secretary between January 1st and the February meeting, assuming one is elected at that time. So just giving everyone that update. All right, let me double check here and just see if the votes are coming in now for the board elections. Okay, is there anyone that needs some additional time to vote for board elections? All right, in that case, we received a total of 7 votes, all in support for both candidates in their positions, with none opposed and no abstentions. So officially and formally, Dan and Zach, congratulations. Dan and Zach will both take their seats as board members at the January meeting, at which time our current member at large and treasurer will turn their seats over and all of their information. So again, thank you, congratulations, and thank you to our previous board members as well. All right, folks, let's keep moving here. Let's see what we have up next. Yes, a reminder about our upcoming potluck. So as I mentioned, we do not meet in December. Instead, we have a community potluck, which will be on Saturday, December 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m. hosted at the Hey Hey. They actually reserved the entire very large back room for us for that event. So if you'd like to come, it is really one of our favorite events. It's very casual. Children are absolutely welcome. All are encouraged to come. Bring a friend. You don't have to live in Merion Village to attend. If you are coming and you have an opportunity to add yourself to the potluck checklist, just so we have a good variety, that's always very helpful. But otherwise, just show up and bring something to share if you're able. And we have a really great time at that event. So hope to see everyone there for the end of the year. And so just a great way to wrap things up and see the neighbors you might not have seen for a while. All right. Going down here again, we're going to touch on MVA committee updates. Won't have anything for social this evening. We will not have a happy hour this month. The attendance has been pretty low recently. I think it might have to do with holidays. So we won't have any more social happy hours for the year, but of course we will have the potluck in December. And then come January, Mike will probably want to talk to folks and hear from everyone as far as what type of social things people might be interested in participating in. So, and Mike, of course, is always looking for folks who want to help plan those next social items. So let us know if you are interested in doing that. Membership, this is just your reminder to renew your memberships for 2024. Memberships in the MVA are all annual from January 1st through December 31st, regardless of when you signed up. However, if you did sign up this year at the festival specifically or after October 1st, your membership will be good for the remainder of this year and all of next year. You can actually go online to our membership verification tool that we have. I'll post that to chat really quickly, and that'll let you know whether or not you have signed up for 2024 if you scroll to the bottom of the page. So You can renew now for 2024 if you want to just get that out of the way and not have to remember any longer. And then we are investigating the possibility of what might be out there for us to make that process a little simpler, maybe with subscription pools that exist through payment processors, just to see if there's something we can propose that might make this a little bit easier for folks. So for now, that is your reminder. Tate, do you want to share the update about the new door hangers that we're going to start using for, I guess, in January?
Yeah, I do. Thank you, Jess. And I have a couple other updates too, just about zoning. So one, I want to thank Jess. Jess is wonderful and always a great support to me in my zoning chair needs. And so one of the, I don't call it an issue, but one thing that we could have improved or can improve on is the way we notify folks about zoning variances and applications. Some of you may know or may not know, I print off the notices and then I give them to around 125 feet area to neighbors around the variance application. So I go and I usually fold up a piece of paper and kind of stick it near the mailbox or on the door everywhere I can. And although like sometimes, as you can imagine, especially when the weather gets a little hairy, sometimes I notice my variance notices travel a little bit if I can't get them just right. We thought there might be a good idea to invest in door hangers and also to make them a little more streamlined. So they will have kind of general information about our meetings since they really don't change month to month on the time. And the avenue now that we have them, and then we'll also have a barcode that goes straight to the notices on our website. So thank you, Jess, for getting that together. I think this will kind of streamline everything and kind of make it a little bit easier, especially on me. And I think it'll also let some folks be properly notified and make sure that that loose paper is not kind of flying around. So, is there any questions on that process? Great. And then I have another update here. So tomorrow I'm going into, I know Josh kind of mentioned in his presentation that there's some zoning changes, some pretty major zoning changes that are happening with the city. They did a couple workshops and they have one tomorrow that I will be attending. So if you have any zoning questions, if you would like to either put them in the chat or I can even put my personal email down there if you want to email me. It's from 5 to 8. It's at the Barrack Community Center, so it's actually not too far from us. So if you have any questions or would like to attend, feel free to stop on by. Like I said, I will be attending. I'm not sure exactly what time. It's from 5 to 8, and they said you'll be in and out in about 30 to 45 minutes. So if you have any zoning questions, specifically, I'm working on doing a more kind of in-depth presentation on the zoning changes once everything's been approved and passed. Right now, they're kind of just working on getting some feedback and also like presenting this information to folks. And I would also probably try to get a speaker from either the city or the city council to come to us to kind of present the changes. So if you have any questions, feel free. I will type in my email. And that's all I have, Jess.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tate. All right, fantastic. Well, we will move on then, folks. That's all we have for committee updates this evening. So I'll just touch on some of the upcoming activities. The Southside Area Commission has their monthly meeting. That's going to be on November 28th. It'll be from 6:30 to 8 at Parsons Library. Let's see here. The 28th, is that? Okay, yes, it's Tuesday. Their meetings are always on the fourth Tuesday of the month, I believe. Then, of course, we have our potluck December 2nd, which is a Saturday, 6 to 8 at the Hey Hey. And then our next monthly meeting will be Wednesday, January 3rd, 7 p.m. Again, still held virtually on a permanent basis now. So hope everyone can join us for that as well. We do not have any other items listed here as far as activities and events that are upcoming. But if there's anyone who would like to share any questions, concerns, or information, I will open the floor now and just give folks a couple of minutes to jump in and share anything that you might like to. Okay. I think we covered everything then. In that case, folks, thank you so much for being here this evening. This might seem early, but happiest holidays to everyone since we will not be meeting again. I do hope to see all of you at the potluck. And of course, just another thank you to our board members who will be finishing up their terms this year. And we appreciate your service. And Eric, absolutely, since you are the person that is here, I'm speaking to you directly as well. Thank you so much. We certainly hope you are around as much as possible. But either way, your service has been fantastic, and we do appreciate you so much. So, folks, thank you so much. This was a wonderful meeting. Do appreciate everyone. Stay safe out there, and we will see you again in January.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.